Why are you here? The reason that I'm here is because I would like to share a very personal story with everyone. I'm Russell, for the people that don't know me. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm never going to lose this accent. I'm the one to speak to you in Spanish, English, and French. And I'm 35 years old. So the story I would like to share happened about, I believe it's about 26 years ago now. Yeah, it's been 26 years ago that it happened, and I can remember that like the type of child I was like a very disobedient child. I grew up with my grandmother. I grew up with my grandma, and I always call her ma. I grew up with her. She raised me, but I can remember that. I mean, she tried the best she could do. I used to walk to school by myself. Back then, I guess it was like safe to walk to school, safer, I guess, maybe. But I mean, the school was close. And I can remember that the school that I used to go to was Florida Elementary. Okay, so a lot of the times I felt alone because I didn't really have many people to support me, which was really just my grandmother. And I thank her to this day. Rest in peace, Grandma. But I can remember that I was like a bad child. I didn't want to go to school. I hated going to school. School was something I just hated. I didn't like it. And I can remember that she wanted to walk me to school one morning, I believe that it was. Yeah, she wanted to walk me to school, and I was like mad, and I was arguing with her because I was so disobedient. And I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go to school by myself. And at this time, I was probably like maybe 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years old. I believe it was at the beginning of 1998. And I started to walk to school. I can remember it clear as day. And I can remember I had like on some brown shoes, kind of like casual shoes, and I think I had like on a jacket, like a Dallas Cowboys jacket. I think Dallas Cowboys was like popular at that time, I believe, in around 1998. And I can remember that she gave me lunch money to go to school, and I started off the school walking by myself. I was so upset and I was so mad. I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go by myself. I'm gonna walk. I'm gone." And I can remember seeing a friend that was in a red car. I was in the third grade at this time, and the friend she was in this red car. Um, and her parents was driving her to school, and I didn't have anybody to drive me, so I was walking to school. And my grandma always told me, she said, "Well, you never take the shortcut because it was a shortcut that all the children or some of the children used to take where like it's the street area where you can see everybody on the street where you can it's a street area where you can walk and people can see the cars can see that you're walking on the street, like it's that visible area where people can see you. And then it's also an area where there's a shortcut, or at least what we called it was a shortcut, where no one could see you, but it was a shortcut to get to school faster. So all the kids, we kind of sort of thought like, wow, that's a shortcut, we can get to school faster. And it was like through like it wasn't really like an alley, but it was kind of sort of like a field. You walk through a field, and we call it like the cut. You go through the cut, you walk through that cut. And I can remember there was dogs barking. I remember, but to get to the point of the story, when I was walking, it was somebody behind me walking, but I just didn't really pay them attention. I didn't really think about it. Um, but it was a guy that was behind me that was walking, and he was like a teenager behind me. And I didn't really pay it any mind. I was just on my way to school, and it was just this high school kid behind me just walking, and I was just happy. And I can remember my friend; she was in the car, and she was like, "Hey, Russell," she waved to me, and then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna hurry up and I'm gonna run and I'm gonna try to get to school and try to beat that car to get to school." Because I was the type of kid I loved to run and play, and that was what I loved to do. And I ran through the shortcut, at least what we call the shortcut through the through the cut. I ran through there. And as soon as I was passing through the cut, I just felt like just like that, like something grabbed me, like somebody grabbed me. Um, and I didn't know what it was or who it was. And then I looked around, and it was the teenager that was that was behind me, that was walking behind me. It was him, and I was so scared out of my brains. Like I had my backpack, I had my jacket on, and it was cold outside. I can remember that, and I can hear the dogs barking, and I can remember him saying some type of gang related thing, like um, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like some type of gang related things he was saying that I can remember, and he had a bottle because it was a bottle on the ground, so he picked it up. It was like a beer bottle. He picked it up, and he was like, "I want you to suck my dick." That's what he said. He was like, "I want you to suck it. I want you to get down, and I want you to do it." And I was so scared out of my mind, like I didn't know what to do. And I mean, telling you the story, I'm reliving it, and it was very hurtful. And I was so scared because I'm like, I don't want him with the bottle because he was threatening me. Um, and he was like, suck my dick, suck my dick. And I can remember that he like started to like penetrate me, and it was I was so scared, and I can remember I was just spitting up so much, like spitting up so much because I was like so disgusted, and I was just spitting up, spitting a lot, and I tried to run, but I had my backpack on me, and I didn't want to lose the books. And now that I look back at it, I say, well, you know what? I should have just said, fuck those books. I should run and I should get away from this person. But I knew that, I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to lose the books. And I was such a young kid. And, it took place, the penetration, and also me, like, sucking his penis. And he took my money. Yeah, I had like just 50 cents at that time. And he took my money. It was my lunch money. I think I had lunch money on me at the time. Yeah. And I asked his name. What was it? And he told me. Um, so it's like I kind of tried to sort of kind of play a little calm towards the end, kind of play a little calm. And he let me go eventually. And he said, "Don't tell nobody. Just calm, just like that. Don't tell nobody." And I was like, "Okay, okay." And I can remember running to school, crying my eyes out, like so bad. I was so hurt. And I just had felt so violated from that happening. But I went to school and I was crying like so bad. And the principal was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like, he did. I was like, he raped me. I got raped. And he was like, who? Who got raped? I just posted a picture actually on the post of my YouTube where I'm shaking the principal hand. And that's the principal that was very upset. He was very upset. He was very mad about what happened. And he was like, show me who did it, who did it, who did it. Show me, show me, show me, show me. And in the elementary school, he took my head just like this to walk around to see like who it was. And we went all the way up to the sixth grade because I was only in the third grade at the time, and we couldn't find the person. We couldn't find him at all. I can remember the police came. I was failing the third grade at the time. I wasn't really doing good. I was failing. My grades was bad. And I had support around me, and I can remember them taking me to do um, like where they check you some type of test where they like check to see if you've been touched in a way. And I was. Yeah, they found that my anal area was torn. The anal wall was torn by the penetration, and they found that that it did happen, and the police was mad. They was like, "Oh, this sick person," and I was just spitting up so much because I was just so traumatized from that event and from that moment. And they found it. Yeah, I had been touched. Somebody did rape me, and I can remember from then my uncle would take me to school, and they passed me. They passed me because of their, I believe because of the tragic accident, or well, not accident, but the tragic moment. And they wanted me to find out who it was. Like if I was to see him again. I mean, back then it was no like cameras, cell phones, or what was cell phones, but it wasn't actually any cameras where you can record on your phone and things like that. But I can remember I used to go over my uncle's house. I used to go over my uncle's house, and he didn't stay that far from my grandma. And the police told me, well, if you see him again, I can remember this woman gave me like a teddy bear just for support, like this little brown teddy bear. But they was like, if you, we asked everybody, did they know who he was? And I can remember friends at the time, everybody knew. A lot of people knew about what happened, and some of the older people. And I can remember this girl. She used to go to the high school that was Booker T. Washington at the time, and I think it was Booker T. No, mm, yeah, yeah, no, Carver. It was Carver. Carver is a school in Memphis, Tennessee. It was Carver High School, and I think she kind of knew and identified. She kind of sort of knew who the person was, but I thought I wouldn't see him again. But so happened one day, uh, I was outside and I was playing over my uncle's house. I was playing in the park. I can remember this clear as day. And I can remember I watched the episode of Martin because I like Martin. I mean, even though I speak different languages, I still grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up watching a lot of the black shows that I love. And I can remember on Martin, it was like a episode of somebody most wanted or something. I don't know if y'all remember. If y'all watch Martin, you might remember. And they was like, Martin was like, I never forget no face. And I think it was like a woman that was like most wanted or something like that. But that popped into my head when I seen this particular person. We were all little kids outside playing, so everybody was at least maybe 9 years old or under. Everybody was young, very young kids. And this older person came along and wanted to play. It was like catch a girl, get a girl, something like that. We was playing at the time, like a tag game or something we were playing. We used to play a lot of different games. And this person came, he was like an older person, an older kid. Um, and it was him. And he was playing with us. Um, he was actually 15 years old. And he was playing the game with us, like that game. And when I immediately knew who it was, I recognized his face. I told my uncle, and we went to court. We talked it out, and I was so scared to get up there and testify and say what happened. But I was like, I was walking home. I was walking to school, and I took this shortcut, and it really wasn't a shortcut because they said it was really a longer way to get there, and it really just hit you from the street. But I was just so disobedient and so mad that day with my grandma that I just took that way to go through that area. And he tried to say it wasn't him. He tried to say that, we was just all outside playing, and his grandma said he had to come in the house. So he like cut this whole story out and just wasn't true, truthful with the story. So I testified. I said what happened, and he went to juvenile. It's been a long time, and I can remember they had money for me. Like they had some type of money that I had. I think it was like $3,000 at the time, and I was so happy because I could get it when I was 18. But it was a tragic moment. Um, I mean, today I am gay. I am, and sometimes I wonder, well, was that possibly maybe something that kind of sort of pushed me to be more like that? But I'm proud of who I am. And I'm very proud. And I don't really think it was that event that pushed me to be the way I am, but I really sometimes question it. Um, because it was like a very tragic moment. It was very I was very scared. And some people I have talked to before that are gay have said they have been raped. Maybe not everybody, but um, that's what happened. And it was in 1998. I was a little boy, just a little boy, just walking to school, and just because I decided to go without my grandma because I was mad at her, and I decided to just go out, leave at the house, storm at the house because I was mad at her, I ended up getting raped at a very young age, and from then, I eventually went to go move with my aunt in 1998 as well. So I was no longer staying with my grandma. But wow, it was very hurtful moment, very tragic. So I just wanted to share that with people. I know I do a lot of videos, and I'm so happy where I am today because like I speak different languages. I speak Spanish. I speak French. English is my native language. I dance, so I'm so happy to where I am today. But it was just a tragic moment that I had in my life over 20 years, 26 years ago. Um, and I just also just want to leave this to people. Just, I mean, try to just, listen to people. Um, I say this to kids. I think kids should listen to, the grandma, mom, dad, because I was just so bad, so disobedient, and I was mad. I had an argument with my grandma that morning. So just because I decided to leave and walk to school by myself, the tragic moment occurred. Um, but yeah, I was scared he was gonna hit me with the ball, and in my head, because he had a beer bottle, and he was threatening me. So that was a, but it's so crazy how I can visually remember it like so clearly, like it was yesterday. But yeah, I testified, and yeah, he ended up going to juvenile. Cause he was 15, and they was like, "Well, what you doing playing with these young kids? If you 15 years old, what you doing playing with a 9 year old?" That's what they questioned him, because everybody else was very younger than him, and they just thought it was weird. He was playing games outside with a 9 year old boy at that time, or it was other kids around too. He was playing with, um, but that is just a story I just wanted to share with everybody, and I thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.